Thank you for listening and welcome to the Life Podcast, a proud member of the Eventide Entertainment Podcast Network. I'm your host, Don Smith. It's a new year, and instead of a live show, I thought we should take a random look back at some of my favorite news stories that we covered on the show in 2017. If you enjoy the show, like and follow the Life 1069 on Facebook and Don Smith Comedy on Twitter, or tune in live on Wednesdays from noon to 2 p.m. on WWSU 106.9 FM, or you can stream the show live at wwsu1069.org.
The brutal presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence overwhelms me.
We try to go with stuff that's a little more interesting than Donald Trump.
Oh, that's cool. I like stuff like that.
Being a Pikachu has never seemed more terrifying. A video shot at a Pokemon festival in Songdo, South Korea. Last weekend shows that, Songdo.
Songdo South.
Last weekend shows what should have been a cheerful, innocent performance of 15 adorable creatures dancing to You Can't Stop the Beat. But for one Pikachu, they could stop the beat. Apparently, about a minute into the performance, one of them began to falter, seemingly unable to keep up with the song, and then it begins to deflate, and that's when the men arrived.
A Pikachu with erectile function.
Yes, two well-dressed men, one clad in a suit, bolt onto stage and grab the rapidly flattening Pikachu. Then more men in suits arrive. For a brief moment, we hope they're there to help, but the world of the Pokemon has no mercy.
Pika,
The men grab the flailing Pikachu and rush it off stage. In the meantime, the dead-eyed, smiling Pikachus around it continue to dance as if absolutely nothing is wrong, while we can only assume their teammate is somewhere being put out of its misery.
You know, if you go to a sushi restaurant, there's nothing better than flailing Pikachu.
I think that is the flailing Pikachu.
Yes.
That's I think that's a martial arts move, isn't it?
Yeah. Probably a martial arts band.
Yeah.
And now live for your entertainment, halftime entertainment, flailing Pikachu.
Yeah, but that actually, having a Pikachu pulled off stage and put to death like that actually seems more of a North Korean story than a South Korean story.
Yeah,
but, that's
poor little guy.
Apparently they lost a Pikachu.
Atomic weapons too. He'd be like, they'd fill him with helium and go, push him south. He's going south. Oh, the wind caught him. There he goes.
Yep, that could have been what it was. That was a North Korean Pikachu spy down there infiltrating the Songdo, South Korea Pokemon Festival.
Nothing worse than a North Korean Pikachu spy. I tell you.
That is always bad news.
Yeah.
Yes, that is, and apparently it failed worse than their missile program.
Those Croatian Pikachus are pretty nasty too.
I have not had a run-in with those before. Yeah. Now, Dan Dean was on the show, and he was talking about albino chupacabras, which is not quite the same, but I believe that's in the same family. Because if I saw a Croatian Pikachu or an albino chupacabra, I would probably be running the other way.
I think that was a dance during the 1920s, the albino Pikachu.
So we have the martial arts flailing Pikachu and the albino chupacabra dance.
Let's see you play that in Scrabble, suckers. You ever play Scrabble and just try to do dirty words? It's really kind of boring.
Absolutely. Yeah,
because it's only 4 letters mostly.
Yeah.
Unless you use like the proper terms and they're real long, and it's no fun.
And so, I know I'm going to screw some of these names up because this is over in Zimbabwe. It's such a fantastic story. A pastor who tried replicating the biblical story of Jesus Christ walking on water has been eaten by crocodiles. The pastor, identified as Jonathan Mthethwa of the Saint of Last Days Church, tried the demonstration at a river known as Crocodile River. Mthethwa from a local church in Right River, Mpumalanga. Sorry.
Mpumalanga.
Mpumalanga. He died Saturday morning trying to demonstrate the biblical miracle to his congregants. According to the Herald Zimbabwe, he drowned in the Crocodile River and was seen by his church members getting eaten by 3 crocodiles. Deacon Nkosi, a member of the church, told the newspaper, "The pastor taught us about faith on Sunday last week. He promised he would demonstrate his faith to us today, but he unfortunately ended up drowning and getting eaten by 3 large crocodiles in front of us. We still don't understand how this happened because he fasted and prayed for the whole week."
Okay, that's
So I
funny on a
think-
couple different levels
I
because he
think that-
fasted, so obviously they didn't get a really full meal.
Right. They just got this little skinny guy, and there were 3 of them that had to share him.
But I don't get that one. That's just like these people that go to church and they, pray with the snakes.
Yeah, the
Like,
snake charmer.
The snake
Yeah,
charmers and stuff. That's
or is that what they're something like
I don't
that.
know what
Yeah,
they do,
something
but
like-
it's just weird.
it's an Appalachian thing. It's kind of see, I have family down in Tennessee that used to go to similar things, and they had to tone them down a lot. But I've heard stories, and it's like, really, why?
Yeah.
That's like trying to walk on the Crocodile River.
Right.
Doesn't make a lot of sense. But that's the thing to me is I'm sure there were children in his congregation that had to witness this, and I'm hoping that some of them see the irony that the adults actually, one of the adults was quoted as saying, "We still don't understand how this happened. Here's how it happened. He tried to walk on water in Crocodile River."
Right, in Crocodile. Well, that's just like
not hard to understand how
it's just
he
like
got
people send a
eaten by
person.
crocodiles.
It's just like people saying that sharks aren't. They're not aggressive. Really?
Well, they're not if you stay on land.
Yeah, I'm not going to find
I have
out.
never run into a shark at home. Chilling out. I've never, they're not that aggressive, as in
Right.
they don't come to where I live and
And I
start
don't-
messing with my stuff.
I don't go there. Exactly. I'm not going to where you live and mess with your water, and
Yeah.
you stay out of my pools.
And if you don't want to be eaten by crocodiles, don't try walking on their river.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like there was a mystery of whose river it was.
Right.
It was in the name.
It was called the Crocodile River.
And just don't say you don't understand how it happened, because anybody with any sense understands how that happened.
Yeah, I know people who have maybe a 7th or 8th grade education, and they would have common sense not to
Right.
do that.
They would figure out. I bet there's crocodiles in the Crocodile
what?
River.
There's got to be something to that name.
Yeah. Would they just have called us that? They just called it that to keep us from walking
Right,
on it. There's
yeah.
no problem at all. They just made that name up to scare us.
That was the most idiot thing, but it is what it is. He demonstrated faith, and he'll be rewarded in heaven.
Yeah, we hope. Yes.
Either that, or God will be up there and what the hell were you
Yeah.
thinking?
Yep, you're giving me a bad name, man. You're supposed to be
No
speaking
wonder-
for me down there.
No wonder no one's following me.
Yeah. Yep, that's why your congregation left.
This is just stupid. Okay. All right, we'll move to the next one because I don't understand that.
How can we move to the next one so
Yeah.
quickly? That was so fantastic.
I'm gonna demonstrate my faith by walking in the Crocodile River.
Yeah, Pete demonstrated something. And there's more to that article, and this Nkosi guy, just keeps going on about describing how he got eaten and how quick it happened. It's like, well, yep, they were hungry, and he was fasting, so he was smaller.
Obviously, the crocodiles didn't get the memo about the fasting.
Right? Yeah, they're like, let's fill up on this guy. Nope, he's been fasting. Oh, here's one I want to do. I want to make sure I get this out there because it's kind of a public service announcement as well.
Okay.
A Pennsylvania resident with a penchant for naming his children after Nazi figures has officially changed has officially changed his surname to Hitler. Local news site MyCentralJersey.com reported, as of Monday, the man formerly known as Isidore Heath Campbell can now legally identify himself as Isidore Heath Hitler, an expression of his admiration for the Nazi leader. The tattooed neo-Nazi, who now lives in Shippensburg, Pennsylvania, that's Shippensburg, Pennsylvania, stepped into the news spotlight in 2008 when a New Jersey market refused to put his then 3-year-old son's name, Adolf Hitler, On to a birthday cake. Shippensburg, Pennsylvania, just for personal information, Shippensburg, Pennsylvania has a
Hey, Don.
population of less than 6,000 people. So he probably won't be that hard to find
Could
if
you repeat
anybody
that?
wants to stop by and say hi.
What was the name of town again?
Shippensburg, Pennsylvania. That's
Let's spell it out.
Shippensburg. Shippensburg, Pennsylvania. It's the
See.
population of less than 6,000.
Written
The
down in
guy's
the
name
notes.
is Isidore Heath Hitler.
So his name was
Probably not a lot of Hitlers in that town either, so you probably won't have that much trouble finding him.
Isidore Campbell, and he changed it to Isidore Hitler.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
hear that name, and Campbell is the part you want to change?
Yeah. Like
Your name's Isidore.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
As
Yes.
soon as I was the
First thing I
legal
noticed.
age, that was the 18. I'm changing my name from Isidore to what? Anything else?
Yes.
Yeah.
Anything
Else. He sounds like the name of a town from Lord of the Rings. I mean,
Isidore, yeah.
they're taking the hobbits to Isidore.
I mean, if any of the listeners would like to send that man a generous gift, I know there's a website where you can clearly, I think it's like rhino feces. You could actually like mail it. It's like rhino or elephant.
Send them-
It's
just-
something like
Just
that.
send
I
them.
swear.
Just send them one of those terrible edible arrangements. I mean,
Yeah.
So
Or
send
just
him
send
an
him a
oval
box full of glitter, because everybody hates glitter.
Never-
So you
Where'd
can
it get
open
out?
up a box of glitter and you know immediately you're a jerk.
I don't know
and
if you
somebody
guys
hates
are-
your
or like
guts.
it's like gift box and like you open and it's just like a glitter just goes
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with I'm sure you probably are, Jimmy. Cards Against Humanity.
Oh yeah, of course,
Yeah,
of course.
So every Christmas season, they put something up on their store as a gift that they've created that you could order for somebody. Now, one year it was just called a box of crap, and it said in the description, "This is a box
Of crap.
of crap," and people still ordered it and got mad when they got a box of camel dung. And they actually did one. I don't know if it was last year or a couple years ago. It was called the box of nothing. It was literally a box with nothing in it. And it said in the description, box of nothing.
Well-
There's nothing in this box. And people
And
still were
people
like,
buy it
I
because
ordered
it's
this
it.
box
That's-
and there was nothing in it. Let's just
Well,
send
like-
him let's send him the box of crap and the box of nothing. He'll be
Yes.
confused.
Well, why were they upset? They were just being honest about it. Like they put it in the description.
just not everything's a joke, folks.
Can't be mad at honesty.
The best things are, but not everything.
But yes, you just have to wonder how his son, who in 2008 he was 3 years old.
I remember that
So
story.
what would he be now? He would be what,
He'd
12,
be
13?
He'd be 12. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
9 years ago. He'd
Yeah,
be 12,
so,
12,
yeah.
13.
There
That's-
is a 12-year-old Adolf Hitler running around in Shippensburg, Pennsylvania,
And like
and
children
it's not his fault.
How is it not his?
It's his dad. His dad.
That's
named
true,
him that.
yeah.
Now it's his fault if he's as big a jerk as the original,
Yeah.
or even as big a jerk as his
But
dad.
like child services didn't think it was a good idea to maybe take that kid out of his dad's custody. And
I mean-
well,
so
yeah,
I remember
that's-
back in like 06, there were these two blonde girls. They were teenagers, and their parents were white supremacists, and but their kids were like really talented singers. So the dad had a lot of money, so he basically like built a recording studio in the house, and they were putting out like pop singles that were all about white supremacy. And there was this
Wow.
big article in I think like People magazine about it. I was kind of like, again, like we're not taking these kids from their parent. Like, they'll take kids from people's houses if they don't make above a certain dollar amount. We
Yeah.
can't take them out of their parents' house if they're
Right.
telling them to, commit genocide. Like,
Honestly, I wouldn't hooking the child out of the house as soon as I found out the parent's name is Isidore. Like you can't trust anyone with that name.
Yeah, there's
You
nothing
can't trust
else.
anyone
It's
with that
just-
name.
your name's
that's enough
Isidore.
reason right
Okay, you're just not going to be allowed to have
Like,
kids,
yeah.
sir.
That sounds like an evil wizard again from like Lord of the Rings.
there. Yeah.
Like to
I am
pass through the trial
Isidore.
of fire, you have to go through Isidore. It's
Yeah.
like, geez, okay.
It's like I'm a comic
My
book.
name is
I'm a
intense.
comic book fan, and there's a guy in comic books named Sinestro.
Yeah,
who
Sinestro.
betrays the Green Lanterns and it turns evil. And they're like, we can't believe Sinestro did this. His name's Sinestro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got the little twirly mustache on his face and everything. You
Little
didn't think
handlebar.
something was the what's his name? Snidely Whiplash
Yeah.
from the old the
Yeah.
old Penelope cartoon. Like you didn't think something was up. Maybe just maybe.
As we were actually talking about Hitler, right? Just a funny story. When I was younger, right? I my dad, so my mom.
That's probably the first time I've heard Hitler and funny stories on this radio show.
Oh,
and
believe
I've
me,
heard
hold
a little
on.
bit of everything.
Hey, hold
this
on,
show.
ladies and gentlemen. It's a doozy, okay? So my mom, right? When I was about 3 years old, my mom worked night shift, right? And my dad, he worked on first shift, so he would watch me while my mom was at work, right? So just one day out of the blue, he just takes a Sharpie marker, right? And he draws a little Hitler stash on me, you know? And he, you know, and I'm like laughing and smiling, you know, because I was only 3 years old. Like, I didn't know anything at the time, you know? And then my dad was like, all right, fun and game's over. Time to wash it off. And it wouldn't come off because it's a permanent marker. And my mom came home and, oh, man, she was pissed. He's
That's
like,
not why you have your bangs down low, is it? To
Yeah.
cover up cover something up on your. Okay,
We're going to dinner with my mother in an hour.
Oh, right.
I guess I better comb forward.
There was also a neighbor, right? A neighbor. Hold on.
He's
now.
got two funny
Hold on.
stories.
Better.
Two funny
There's
stories,
more.
okay? So there's a neighbor in my neighborhood, right? I'm not gonna give out his name,
That's good.
but
Please don't.
there was a rumor,
not
right?
Isidore Hitler.
No, it's
from
not Isidore.
Shippensburg, Pennsylvania.
He so my neighbor, right, as soon as he moved in, right, there was like a rumor that he was a white supremacist, right? It was just a rumor, so everyone thought that he was a neo-Nazi, right? And I actually talked to him, right? I had a decent conversation with him, and I'm like, there's no way that this guy could be a neo-Nazi. And I even asked him about it. I was like, there's a rumor going around. And he said, oh, well, my friend, right, he helped me, moved in, right, and I gave him like a hug, you know, like a brotherly a hug, right? And his friend was also like a neighbor a couple blocks away, right? And someone asked, and it's just like, hey, so, you know, we seen you hug the guy. Is your friend gay by any chance? He's like, oh, no. He's a neo-Nazi, and he told him that so people wouldn't mess with him for being gay. Yeah.
Wow.
And my neighbor said he was just like, I could even walk outside, you know, butt-ass naked, and no one would say anything because they were afraid that I was a neo-Nazi. And
Wow.
I was like, that's crazy.
That's freedom right there.
Yeah, that's
freedom. I mean, you can do whatever you want as long as you have people think you're worshiping Hitler.
That's the kind of joke.
Yeah,
if you're going to make that joke about your friend, you follow that up with a LOL JK. I mean,
Right.
something to get across the
Yeah,
idea
that's
that,
sometimes where sarcasm can lead you into trouble.
I mean, I'm sarcastic and cynical,
I
but
mean,
even
if
I know it's like there are times I have to specify, just so we're clear,
Yeah.
I'm not serious.
I mean, if
That
anything, he was
was
just
a
looking
joke.
out for him. I mean, he's making sure no one would mess with him, and it worked. No one ever has. He's still there. He's been there for a while now.
So that's, yeah.
I swear, that's the last.
I
That's the
think on
last
that note-
story. That's the last story I got about
nothing-
Hitler.
I got
That's
nothing to
I
follow
think
that
That's
up
the last
with.
story of the day I have about Hitler. I swear.
Well, that's good because we're going to have to end there. So this is going to be the taste that we leave in listeners' ears. Well, since there's a father of a comedian in the studio, we'll talk about a father and his issue with his daughter's career choice. It was only after Aurora Snow retired from porn that she was able to ask her dad how he really felt about her career choice. When she finally did, she was surprised by his answer. He said he was proud, which is not what you'd expect. Between 2000 and 2011, Aurora Snow was one of porn's biggest celebrities, even earning a spot in the Adult Video News Hall of Fame earlier this year. His reaction, her dad's reaction, wasn't always as generous. He admits to being initially angry when he first found out how she earned her money, when he heard her making gagging noises on the Howard Stern show. She pressed her dad further on his reaction. He responded that he didn't want to be a hypocrite and said, if I could have made hundreds of thousands of dollars having sex, I would have done it too. I've bragged about you. How many people can say they've done what you've done? So that's an interesting reaction when you find out your
it kind of
daughter's a
makes
porn
me
star.
worry a little bit because, you know,
I've tried going down that route.
I mean, you know,
Yeah, you had the
It's a lot
dress and
harder
everything.
than you look. I looked up how to be a gigolo, and you got to know art, like Leonardo da Vinci. Like, you got to, you know, because they want high class. The women that are doing that, they just want someone to go out to a corporate event with them.
Right.
And
And
be,
not- yeah.
you know, be someone representable. You got to know a bunch of, you got to know a bunch of, just be smart. Like, know a lot of artsy stuff.
But how old are
lot
you now? 24?
24, just
Okay,
turned 24.
because, see, I've been waiting 24 years for you to put the feminine side of you away and come out with the masculine side. So
My dad thinks I'm gay. He said he loves me even if I am,
well,
but I'm like,
would.
I'm not.
I would, but you
But
know,
thanks anyway.
but I see your legs all the time, and you wouldn't look good in a dress. You know, not. I mean, that's what I worry about the most. You know.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
So you're not. No, I'm kidding.
yeah. I mean, I can't say I haven't tried. But good Lord, I'm not.
Well,
Trust
yeah,
me.
you were in jail for a while, so you might have. You know,
Oh, yeah.
Now, are you
30
married?
days.
Are you married?
I am married.
Oh, that's good, because I was afraid maybe you'd be going to be one of the first ones to ask him for a date.
That was a good one, Dad. See?
All right, you get out of my studio. Okay.
I'm sorry.
I'm just
You've been
kidding.
such a nice guy. I'm sorry.
That's all
He
right.
gave you cookies. And water. This is how he welcomes you into his home.
Yeah,
I want a Reese
oh, man.
cup.
Yeah.
I would have been happy
If I'd have
got-
given the man a Reese
Yeah.
cup, it'd have been fine. He wouldn't
It
have
was
got
just a
all...
big achievement to get him in here today. I had to lie to him and say he wasn't even good. You don't even have to talk. I said, just come in and sit down.
lied like a dog. Man, we're going to church
And I
after
told
we
him
get
it
out
was
of here.
right when you walk through the front doors, you just turn right. We had to walk like half a mile.
Yeah.
I did a lot of work to get this man in here,
Well,
and I
we're
don't
going
think
to
y'all
church.
appreciate
As
it.
soon as we leave here, we're headed to church.
This is out of Lucknow, India. Indian police are reviewing reports of missing children to try to identify a girl who was found living in a forest with a group of monkeys. Yeah, this is a female Tarzan now.
Yeah.
The girl, believed to be 10 to 12 years old, was unable to speak, was wearing no clothes, and was emaciated when she was discovered in January and taken to a hospital in a town in the state of northern India. Where are we here? She behaved like an animal, running on her arms and legs. That's an interesting way to put that.
Yeah.
I didn't write these, by the way. Running on her arms and legs, eating food off the floor with her mouth.
Yeah.
As opposed to eating with something other than her mouth.
Right.
Let's see.
I feel like people forget sometimes that humans are animals.
Yeah, I think that's.
And when
yeah.
they're doing animal stuff, it's kind of confusing. But who's in charge of her? Like, is it at that point? Is it technically a pet? When
Yeah,
the
I don't know.
when the individual
yeah.
identifies as an animal.
Yeah,
and
would she go to a shelter or?
Well, it's kind of a hard thing to decide on there.
Yeah, that
But
is true.
technically, she would not be a monkey because she has no tail. We gotta be accurate here because
Yeah,
that's an ape.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
Well, they might.
A lot of
glued
people call them.
something on, so.
A lot of people call them apes monkeys, and I was that kid in science class who heard that fact and then took it with me the rest of my life. No, that's not a monkey.
Yeah.
My science teacher in 4th grade said that's an ape, and I'm.
She's still not able to speak. She understands what you tell her and even smiles now.
Yeah.
So she's making some progress. After treatment, she's begun walking normally and eating with her hands.
Right.
Well, who's to define walking normally?
Yeah. And you kind of have a silver lining here too. Like, I assume there's probably a village nearby, and sometimes villages get overrun by attackers of various sorts. You're gonna need somebody who can throw poop really good.
That's true. That's
yeah,
true.
and also is gonna fit in and look like
she would do well down in.
She probably doesn't have a
Venezuela,
problem
where
with
they're
it.
throwing the poop down there.
Exactly.
That was a story from the last. From
Oh,
the last
yeah.
half of the show.
That's probably why poop's on my mind right now.
Yeah. This is just fantastic. Speaking of tanning man packages, a Florida man thinks his genitals hold the key to avoiding a murder conviction. Richard Patterson is on trial for second-degree murder after being accused of fatally choking Francisca Sorry, I got.
Oh, I can see where this is leading right now.
Kenneth Padowitz, Patterson's defense attorney, argued Martinez was not choked by Patterson's hands, as the prosecution alleges. Instead, the defense claims Patterson choked during oral sex.
To death?
So the defense team, yeah, you would think you would notice something is wrong
yeah, you just,
at some point. The defense team has motioned the jury to be shown Patterson's penis before the testimony by former Broward medical examiner Dr. Ronald Wright in an effort to help the jury better understand the testimony.
Like what?
Are they going to do a reenactment in court? Like, let's see what happens.
They might, because prosecutors do not object to having Patterson show
I would like to sit in on that.
his stuff, but argue that Patterson's organ must be erect when viewed by the jury. So they may
pretty
need,
hard to,
they may need a fluffer.
Yeah.
They may need
Ranson?
I've never known of a court case where you needed a fluffer.
Talk about ultimate bragging rights. Like, I killed someone with this thing. Like,
yeah, well, yeah, I mean, yeah. Where were his hands at the time? That's what I want to know. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, if she's like slumped over, like move her or something, you know, what I mean, get her out of there.
That sounds to me like he was enjoying the moment.
See, well, it could still be murder. You know, he just definitely murdered by ego because he's like,
hey, buddy, what are you in for? You know what I mean? Like, well, let me tell you.
Erotically
tell you what, we're in prison. Let me show you.
Yeah, that's the ultimate prison shank, isn't it?
Yeah.
He got a new nickname as he's walking around.
Yeah. Now I know when you get your murders in the gang, you get the little teardrop. You get the little teardrop tattoo by your eye.
Maybe
I just wonder if you have to get the little drop tattoo down there.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It means something completely different.
Squiggly.
Yeah. By the eye. You know, like
by the eye.
Oh my gosh, that would be
or you could get the little squiggly sperm tattoo by your eye. Just because.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Oh, where's that envelope again?
My
that we were
Lord.
pushing.
He's running that prison.
Yeah, where is that thin
yeah,
line? That thin line has vanished on that news story. But yeah, that's I don't know if that. Oh, here's the bad thing. They were 60 years old.
Oh,
so that just
that did ruin it.
Well, correction. The victim was 60 years old.
Oh God, what is he? 22?
That might have just been it for her. Then you know what I mean. There may not have been any foul play involved.
She
might have dozed off.
She should have got her tonsils out.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, who knows?
Breathe through your nose.
Her false teeth might have gone down the wrong way and got lodged. Which I had to think she'd have taken him out for that.
Does it say how old he was, though?
It does not, or at least it didn't in the part I printed up.
I'm curious. What if it's like a 25-year-old man?
It said as Francisca Martinez is the victim. She's 60 years old, and in the Margate apartment. He lived in the Margate apartments in Florida.
That's the problem.
And that
right
sounds
there,
like
that's Margate.
Well, you know those old folks' homes are known for that kind of stuff anymore. I mean, not the deaths and that. Way, that's usually probably what the
they're usually
shock
not
was,
doing that to get out of there. You know what I'm saying?
Different kinds of strokes.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Oh my God!
I'm pushing it for you.
Oh, that's
We're
awesome.
getting on the edge.
There's a reason they call them lazy Sundays. There's nothing better than sitting around and enjoying the comforts of a good book. But what book should that be? Well, every Sunday, Eventide brings you The Bookseller, hosted by Jessica Gillen. Each week, Jessica breaks down a different book and tells you everything you need to know before cracking it open and getting lost in a whole new world. Tune in every Sunday for The Bookseller with Jessica Gillen, brought to you by Eventide Entertainment.
The cost of transporting water to the International Space Station and beyond are so cost prohibitive, about $48,000 per liter, that NASA engineers had to find a cheaper way of taking water to space. Luckily for science, someone figured out a method. Unluckily for the astronauts, it's turning their own urine into potable drinking water.
Oh, good idea, though. I mean,
according to America's Secret Space Heroes, a documentary series airing Sundays on the Smithsonian Channel, NASA scientists distilled all the information about urine and created a distillery that turns an astronaut's whiz into drinking water.
Huh.
So I believe they learned that from the movie Waterworld.
Yeah. They go through great lengths anyway to be an astronaut. Why not drink your own pee?
Yeah, I guess that's kind of that's the test. That's the big test.
I mean,
can you stomach this?
Drinking your own pee is probably the least thing they're worried about, to be honest. I mean,
I'm being shot in a rocket into a place with no oxygen and no gravity. Where yeah,
it's like drinking my own pee. Yeah, that's easy.
Yeah, fear is not a factor.
Yeah, that's right.
At that point.
Like, don't even distill it. I'll just drink it.
Yeah.
It probably tastes better than some of the food up there.
Oh, yeah, it definitely does.
Yep.
I've had that ice cream.
Yeah, I've had some of that Air Force Museum ice cream myself.
Yeah. So you got to mix it with the Tang, I guess. It's Whiz Tang. The astronauts are they come back, they're called the Whiz Tang clan.
Yeah, there we go.
I immediately regret drinking your water.
Yeah. Well, I told you that was the one.
That's right. You got it, not me.
Oh, that's funny. Let's see. An Olympic athlete had a fashion mishap during a competition, but handled it like a real champion. Long jumper Blessing Akagbar was competing in Oslo, Norway this week when she took a leap into viral fame. When the Olympic medalist landed, her wig fell off her head. A moment that was captured by TV cameras. If she was embarrassed by the situation, she didn't show it. Instead of wigging out, she waited for her mark to be measured at 6.21 meters, then grabbed her wig and put it back on her head.
I saw that.
Did you
saw it.
What, you saw it?
Did the wig go further than she
did?
No,
actually, I wasn't sure if they were going to measure the wig or where she actually landed for a moment. But and the thing is, she had a stocking cap on under the wig, so it wasn't even really. It wasn't like a real weave. It was like, I'm like, come on, baby, you're doing the long jump. You can't just put like a little hat on and think it's gonna stay on. And the wig, the weave wig, whatever allegedly it's called, it went backwards a little bit, but she handled it like a pro. She just picked it up and went on like grandma would do before she went to the grocery store. She just grabbed her wig, put it on, and went on about her business.
Dust the sand off of it.
Yeah. I'm gonna see if I can find it for you. We're gonna see. I'm gonna talk to our.
That's being a
We're gonna talk to our
right
fake
there.
engineer and see if they could pull the video up for us.
Yeah, can you guys put the video up on the
Jumbotron or something?
Yeah, on the Jumbotron here on the radio. Can you put the put the video up?
I'm more intrigued as to how she's an Olympic athlete.
I would think you wouldn't want all that up there, for aerodynamics at least, because she had like you said, I saw it. She had a little skull cap thing on.
I'm confused here. I'm just as far as we came with this whole hair and practice thing. If you bald, I think there's other ways for you to grow hair rather than running with the wig on, doing the jump. I don't know, man. Personally, good for her. If she found a way to be still professional about it, even though everybody on the planet Earth has seen, except for me, the wig fall off. Kudos to her.
Except, you're the only person that hasn't seen it, so you got to get out there.
Yeah.
Well, Ray's trying to find it for you. Yep, here we go. Here we go, live on the radio. We have video.
You see her coming down the runway. There she go, and there's the wig.
Like it's so it's so awfully funny.
Yeah.
Like she landed and the wig fell off.
Yeah. See, because as I looked, I was like, "No, are they going to measure the wig right here?" You're looking like, okay, do you measure the wig or do you measure her? Which one?
See, I would think you would measure the wig because that's the. That's what it would seem like to me.
And the whole thing came off, the stocking cap and everything.
I take my last remarks back. She does have hair. I guess she thought that it would be better for her to have longer hair.
Right. See, I would think that wouldn't that be grounds for disqualification? It's just like falling backwards and putting your hand back there. They're not going to measure where your feet were if you had to catch yourself with your hand. I mean, if your hair is all the way back there on the ground.
I didn't do any of the long jumps or anything.
I don't know, and I did the long jump. I was a pretty good long jumper, but that was before Cookie Gate got involved.
But you weren't wearing a wig.
No, I was never wearing a wig. My hair was actually attached to my head. I had about a Kid and Play high top fade many, many moons ago. So I've never seen any episode like that before. So I don't know. I don't know. It looked, I mean, yeah.
So would you being like a track and field coach now, are you going to go around to them and make sure that their hair is
Well, we'll have to have some pre-talk.
Before each meet you go around.
Just ask, make sure your hair's secured tightly. Just, please. I mean, it could have been worse. It could have fell off in a race.
Yeah.
Then what? It just, because she can't go back and get it then.
Right.
After the race,
unless they're running multiple laps, and then they're going to step on it, or somebody kick it to the side.
Or trip over it, and then you got another problem, because would that be considered tripping? Would you be able to be disqualified for that?
This is, like I said, this is all new to me. I've never... I'm just as shocked as the rest of the world. I've never seen anything like this.
Well, I've seen things. There's been multiple weave malfunctions throughout life. You get on World Star.
I'm talking about in an Olympic form.
Have there been many Olympic weave malfunctions?
Well, not in the Olympics, but in real, like we said, what we call this, the life in real life.
Right. Oh yeah,
We've seen many
weave
at dances, fights.
I was say fights is the number one. When you can tell if someone's got weave.
You'd be like, hey, that's coming out. And there's always that one guy that picks it up like, here you go.
That actually happened, but it was a bun.
Yeah,
my buddy was trying to help out this girl that got beat up, and when we was in elementary school, she got beat up, and the girl grabbed her bun, and she thought it was her hair. She had the same bun every year for like 6 years straight. We thought that was her hair through and through.
It was a constant bun.
It was a constant bun, and the girl reached back and pulled it off, and the bun was no longer attached to the head. And it wasn't like a big, it was like one of those buns that you would get at like Cinnabon, man. It was like that small. So he picks it up and he grabs it. He's like, here you go. And she's just like, I got beat up and I lost my hair.
Lost your buns.
Damn.
But you know where you never see weave malfunction, man? In professional wrestling. Them girls' weaves never come off.
Those are
and
high
they're
quality,
pulling hair, and I don't know what they're doing in the wrestling world. I was like, the weave never comes off in the super glue, or I don't know, titanium, monkey tape, gorilla tape, whatever they call it.
They have the super weave technology. Speaking of kids, you want a doll that looks, moves, and feels almost exactly like a newborn? Or how about a baby avatar? Or a half-human, half-piglet?
What?
Yeah, that's all in one statement.
Are you just reading off headlines, or is that all
just
one?
Random things. No, that is all one headline. The whole range was on display at a trade fair in Bilbao, northern Spain, showcasing reborn babies made by Spanish company Babyclon.
No.
Yes, one of a small number of firms worldwide that cater to a particular subculture of collectors who value the doll's unsettling realism. Some of the basic silicone dolls cost almost 600 euros, while high-end models equipped with motors to make the doll appear to breathe and suck on a pacifier cost nearly 5,000 euros. As well as human babies, the ones that look like the blue aliens from the film Avatar. The company makes baby chimpanzees, tiny mermaids, and infants with elf-style pointed ears.
Did somebody
and you guys are speaking.
Did somebody from Henson's Creature Shop get fired?
I mean, think so.
Good Lord. I mean, first of all,
who would collect it, though? That's just...
I feel like someone's going to use that in like a baby kidnapping case.
Yes.
Like they'll switch it with a decoy robot baby, and it's like, oh, the old baby switcheroo.
I got the one with the dye pack.
The baby switch
Oh, don't worry. He didn't steal our baby. He got one of the several decoys.
Yes, decoy babies. I want 10 of them. All different.
Like when Saddam was president, he had those body doubles walking around. If you're that conceited, you think your baby's worth that? I mean, maybe it's like Prince William's kid or something, you know?
Yeah, that would make sense. It's a royal baby. Have a royal baby clone.
I have so many questions.
And we have no answers. There were no answers in the article. I looked.
Yeah, first of all, Baby Klon, the name of the company, sounds like the name of a villain from Adam West's Batman.
Baby Klon.
I was going to say it sounds like a Pokemon.
Or a Pokemon. Yeah, like no. I got nothing.
Yeah, that's what I like to do is just stump guests.
Photorealistic baby factory.
Yeah,
literally, that's what that place is. Baby Klon.
Yeah. Baby Klon. That does sound like it. It sounds like one of those evil corporations.
And the thing that gets me is it wasn't like this was like one dude. Like this was a fair of these things.
Yeah, the CEO.
Like a whole event of all these different ones. It wasn't like it was one guy.
The CEO has one mechanical hand, and all it does is hold a white cat. Welcome to Baby Klon.
It's like Dr. Claw from Inspector Gadget.
Gadget, would you like to buy one of my babies?
I'll put these babies.
Mysteriously,
only wants to sell these babies to like senators and like intelligence. Why don't you can just leave this baby right in your office? You know, perfect.
Oh my God.
Call it the desk baby, and like, tell all your secrets to it. Like it wants to hear. Like it's the most obvious like bug, but they're like, oh, you know what? I do need a desk baby. You know,
who doesn't?
Madam Senator, why did you bring your child into the Senate meeting today? Couldn't get a sitter. Just gonna leave him sitting here on the desk. Don't mind it. Just ignore it.
Just between you and me, mysterious mechanical baby. Wink, like into the camera.
Oh, can you say that a little? Could you say that into the baby, please?
Speak more clearly into the infant, if you wouldn't mind.
Hello.
Go, Gadget baby.
I'm gonna be thinking about that all night at work tonight. Like, wow.
That one was more fun than I expected.
Bizarre.
A hotel in Canada's Yukon Territory wants to conduct a manhunt for a person who stole a human toe. Not just any toe, mind you. This is the toe that the downtown hotel in Dawson City uses in its signature drink, the Sour Toe Cocktail. People come from all over the world to try the drink, which is basically a shot of whiskey with a dehydrated toe in it. The mummified toe went missing Saturday night. The hotel executives are stamping their feet. We're furious, Terry Lee, the hotel's toe captain, said. They have a toe captain at the hotel that's in charge of the human toe. Lee said the hotel still has a couple of backup toes, but hotel manager Jerry Colborn really liked the one that was stolen. Colborn told the CBC that it was donated by a man who had to have it surgically removed. Then it was cured in salt for 6 months. She says that this was our new toe, and it was really a good one. We just started using it this weekend. So apparently you don't get a new toe with every drink. They reuse the same toe.
Have they, I guess, have they checked with the local tow truck services?
Yes, I would think that would be a...
Yeah, they just have to use one toe because they get real suspicious if you start getting a lot of limping customers at the hotel.
It's like we don't know what's
last
up.
night. I don't know what happened.
I got all these people walking in circles in the lobby. I can't understand.
Well, it's up in the Yukon Territory, so I'd imagine there are probably a lot of them that fall off from frostbite.
Well, I wonder if would a Yeti toe fit in?
It'd have to be bigger than just a shot.
Sure.
You'd have to have a tumbler or something.
It'd be like a bad one.
Yeah.
Would you put an umbrella with the toe?
Isn't that a Jedi Apprentice?
Yes, he was really bad. Yeah,
that's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
Man, they should get more than one toe if they want to do the business right.
I would.
I take half a star away from their.
They said well, somebody took half a toe away.
I'm going straight to Yelp.
Half a star.
Yeah. That's what they did when they cut the toe off.
Well, they said they had backup toes, but this one was the new one, and apparently their favorite.
Are they behind glass?
They weren't cured yet, but they had to prematurely use a toe. That's disturbing in a way.
It is a little bit to have a drink that has somebody's dehydrated toe in it.
Yeah.
Something is afoot here. Yes.
Yes.
It's like how many Sherpas have lost toes?
Oh, probably quite a few.
Yeah.
Frostbite's it's a pain.
It is.
At least they got it. See, I wonder if they're like frozen. If they use the toe,
is it a big toe
instead of ice?
Is it a big toe?
Yeah, I would hope.
I mean, how do you smuggle that out?
Yeah, I would hope.
Like you look like a jawbreaker in your mouth, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Like, sir, we can see the nails sticking out.
Yeah,
Excuse me, sir. No towing in the foyer.
Yep, we're gonna have to have you towed.
Toad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So would you try the drink? I mean, if you were there and you were already drunk.
Well,
you don't drink anymore,
if I was
Scotty,
still an alcoholic, absolutely.
I wouldn't care what was in it.
There's not many things that you couldn't get past me.
See, I'm just wondering, can't they just use beef jerky or something? I mean, who's really going to
spam into a toe or something?
Yeah, is anybody really going to inspect it that closely? Toe spam.
Never mind.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
What about you, Holly? Would you drink that? You a toe sucker?
Yeah.
Toe sucker? It depends on how many euros you have. Toe sucking. Toe sucking, trucking, mama.
So people pay some money to.
People pay for the sour toe cocktail. That is, in case anybody's interested, that's the downtown hotel in Dawson City, in Canada's Yukon Territory. So
that would be kind of embarrassing.
And if
you're flying a plane and they check you in and say, "What you got there, sir?" Toe.
Yeah. Yep. There's a souvenir.
What brings you to Canada? I'm going to suck on a toe.
Yep, I'm going to try the sour toe cocktail.
There's something about a Canadian toe.
Yeah. Yep. It's the best kind of toe, eh? I wonder, because they are they donated? Well, it says this one was donated. I wonder if they purchased toes.
I mean,
I got 10 of them.
Is that in somebody's will?
They had that on their driver's license.
Yeah, toe donor.
Toe donor.
Toe donor.
Yep. That could be. I'm a toe donor.
Yeah. If you use the small toes, you can shoot them through the straws.
Yeah, that would be fun. Well, you'd have to have a big straw, but still, yeah.
Slurpee.
How would that be sitting in a bar? All of a sudden, you get a little pinky toe upside the forehead. That would be.
That could be a sign for something.
Yeah.
Let's see. Pinky toe on the left side.
Yep. She was giving me the eyes, so I hit her with a pinky toe.
And then you took the big toe and
I'm not a foot person in general.
No, but
let alone like somebody stick a toe in my drink. Yeah. That's enough.
That is disgusting.
Stop it. Stop
yes,
it.
It is. Yeah. Even dehydrated and sterilized.
I don't care if it's salted, carameled. I don't care. I don't.
Caramel. I don't know.
A caramel toe.
Caramel toe. Now you know what else starts with
I hate having caramel toe.
I hate that too. There's nothing worse than when your caramel toe showing.
That's a really. Caramel toe is like the other side.
Yeah, that's
oh my
goodness. Disgusting.
Boy, my Catholic girl upbringing is getting shot to hell now.
Oh, there's a pill for that.
Yeah.
There's a
caramel toe is another name for a wedgie, I think. Oh, we are definitely getting kicked off the air today.
Yay!
Not only do you no longer work here, you're no longer a student here.
Yep, I just got kicked out as a student, lost my radio show all in one day.
Does that mean if a guy wants to drink,
caramel toe?
If a guy wants to drink with a toe, does he come up to the bartender and go, "Excuse me, sir, are you finished with that toe? Someone else needs it." Wow.
I would think, yeah.
Yeah, you would have to have more than one toe.
Well, like I said, they have backups, but that's their primary. That's their primary toe.
I can't believe the last 10 minutes of this conversation has been about a toe. That's got to be the most famous missing toe.
Yeah,
ever.
That's like the Pink Panther diamond. That's the Yukon missing toe drink, or would it be a drink toe? Yeah, it'd be a drink toe because
it's toe bad. It'd be like tofu. What?
Now, ankles are good, too, but that's a whole different part of the foot.
Yeah, you got a story about ankles in there?
It's a lot harder to fit those in a drink, is the problem. You'd have to have a much bigger glass.
So, we have a listener in Kentucky right now.
Oh, well, I'll talk slower.
Yeah. Oh, hi, Kentucky listener.
She tried to correct my caramel toe comment.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called a play on words.
Yes.
Yeah, you walk a mile for that.
But she said there's 9 backup toes, so whatever. She's into the toe story.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, hey, it's a great story.
She's digital.
Now, does she know if they have 9 backup toes at the hotel?
I don't.
Or is that
I'm going to
just
guess that there's probably a toe jam going on there.
That'd be a lot. Yeah.
So. All right. What else you got? Anybody getting beat?
Yeah, let's. Thanks for listening to the Life Podcast. Check us out on Eventide Entertainment's podcast network. Remember, if you want to listen live, we're on Wednesdays from noon to 2 p.m. on WWSU 106.9 FM, or you can always stream the show live at WWSU1069.org. If you have suggestions or comments for the show, feel free to email us at thelife1069@gmail.com.
Presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence overwhelms me.